is what I'm going to be putting on. Gentle form, Dulux Easycare. Pretty good stuff this is. Goes on well, sits back well. Ready for painting these staircase walls. 3-in-1 steps here. Which I'm going to start this end wall first. I'll be able to cut in along the top there. And then move my ladders onto this wall. Finish off this cutting in. Stuff I'm using: got warm soapy water, got my roller which I've dampened and I need to spin out, small roller if I want to get onto these smaller areas, and my fitch for any tight spots, 3-inch brush. Dry in a few minutes and I'll just be able to paint that. That's ready to go. All that pile stood up now. Perfect. I'm just dipping it in there, rolling it on the side, work the paint into the roller. Good way of loading your roller, that. The roller being so dry, the paint doesn't get all the way in to the pile as quick. But if you pre-wet it, perfect. I'm at the bottom of my steps. Just to show you this. Save any overreaching. I've just drawn my steps out as far as I can, leaving enough safe area for this tread, and then that way when I'm working on that wall I can get as far away over without overreaching, and then onto this wall I can come back, make it easier. You won't always achieve a neat line straight away. Sometimes you may have to tweak it on your second coat. Depends how absorbent this is, because you can spend too much time trying to get it straight when you've got to do a second coat anyway. What I'm having to do here is create my own line, because this ceiling is so out that if I follow it, it'll look proper nasty. reach that comfortably. All the cutting in done. And as I was doing that, that's already dry. So once I've rolled that, that'll get done next. Starting a little way out so you can spread your paint. To avoid tram lines, applying light pressure when you're rolling it over again to lay off. Changing to a smaller roll pull. Always feathering the thicker edges as you're working across the wall. Working this top section off the landing. Apply those thick edges, laying off with light pressure. Then bringing this bottom section in from off the stairs. That's it, first wall done. I've got my steps and my ladders set up for this side. I reach the corner there. Again, bringing it out as far as I can. And then with a small pair of steps, just reach the end here. Again, you don't want to be overreaching too much. That's the last wall of the staircase cut in and rolled. Started in this corner, working back, and then I've cut in all the way round, but only brought the paint down to the natural shadow line there. Now I can just continue rolling down at the bottom. That's the first coat on. You see that line up to the ceiling there. If you go too far onto the ceiling, it'll look bad. Better to always leave a slight gap, especially if this edge is rough. Go onto the ceiling, it just looks worse. Because you're only ever going to view this from down here. So if it's on the ceiling, it will look bad. Well, that's ready for a second coat now. Quickly look down here now. I've only got a few pieces left. Only little bits really. All around the bottoms, they are only just small areas. Like the biggest wall down here. Got a little bit across the top. But overall, that's all that's left. Now, that's what I've got. I've used 2.5 litres. I've still got the 2.5 left. This is only its first coat. Judging by what I've got left, I should have enough to finish down there. So that 2.5 litres has got me, again, there are only little bits up here. You can see there, but generally that 2.5 litres has done most of this staircase. Now I did thin it out a little bit because I knew that this surface was going to be slightly absorbent, because this was a flat mat that went on when I last did it. But the customer again has noticed that it does blacken, so I want to go for something a little bit easier to clean. I won't have a problem with the other 2.5 litres going on this. Goes on a lot quicker. See why I chose the shadow line to bring the paint to. Just naturally where the light comes to. Not all these colours are available in 5 litres. I could only get this gentle fawn in the 2.5 litres, hence the 2 tins there. So, depending on the area that you're working on, you may have to box these together. But I was able to coat all these walls up with the first tin, slightly thinned off, because I knew these walls were quite absorbent, and then I'll be able to finish off with that other 2.5. Well, that's not a bad guesstimate at all, that. Virtually nothing left in there. A couple of little dribbles in the corner. I've got a tiny spot left in there. So it was close, but it's all first coated. That's the main thing. Now I won't have a problem getting the second coat on. See why? Against the cove in there. If you're ever doing any white paint onto walls, careful how much you go on. A lot easier to cover with a fine amount. If it's all over the wall, it'll be a lot harder to cover. I'll just take a quick look now up here. This is all dry. The only thing that's letting this wall down here now is this plaster pop here. There'll be a screw or a nail behind there. So, see if that will come off. So what I will do is PVA this, diluted PVA, knock that nail in and then fill it. I'll mix a hardstop filler with the last bit of paint I've got there. If you are thinning this paint with water, always try and thin just what you need. Never store a tin of paint that has been thinned with water. It just won't last as long. Again, if you use a 5 litre, only thin what you're using. Don't contaminate the stock pot. Always keep that stock pot neat.